So, hi everyone, Anthea Scouffas, the Engagement Education Director at the LEED Center of Kansas. And today, our leadership conversation, I am lucky enough to gab with the most talented and wonderful Amirah Sackett. Amirah is internationally recognized hip hop dancer, choreographer, teacher, and is widely known for her choreography and performance ensemble creation, We're Muslim, Don't Panic. Hi Amirah, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a beautiful day here. I hope it is in Chicago as well.
It is.
Great. You're not new to the LEED Center. We were lucky enough to have you here almost exactly 2 years ago to perform. And while you were here, you worked with first-year experience students, dance students, KU dance students, and also community dance students at the Lawrence Arts Center. Just wondering how that experience was for you.
I had a wonderful time at the LEED Center. The students were really engaged and respectful and asked great questions. The dance classes were phenomenal, as well as the spaces that you have for the arts. They were really beautifully kept, and that made it really, really a special visit as well.
Yeah, we're fortunate. One of the exciting things about it too was that you were able to incorporate actually some of the KU dancers that are part of Unity Dance, right? Which is a hip hop group that the students have created. And that was really awesome that you were able to bring some of them on stage with you and perform.
That was definitely a highlight of my visit, was like really working with students outside of just teaching a workshop or doing a lecture, but being able to really spend time with them in a rehearsal process and then on stage. And I still follow those students on Instagram and like have watched their journey with dance and everything they're doing. So it makes it really like this kind of personal connection that keeps going into the future, which that was just so much fun.
That is fantastic. And I know one of those students was actually a visiting student from China. And I know you just blew her away, and she was so excited for the experience. So I always love that idea of her taking that experience back to China and sharing that with folks.
That's so special.
Yeah, it was really, really wonderful. So, so I think it would be nice to talk a little bit about you and your work so we can fill in those who aren't aware of your work or didn't get to see you while you were here before. So I'm wondering when you were introduced, or when did you get involved in hip hop dance? And could you talk a little bit about your early experiences as a Muslim woman entering the very male dominated hip hop dance scene in Chicago?
Sure. So, I grew up loving hip hop, because it's part of shared culture. Here in the US, it's part of the backdrop of our experience. I feel like being Americans and growing up in partly in Chicago in those early times, and then the way that I grew as an artist and expanded my horizons within hip hop was really something unexpected. I think that I always loved hip hop. I loved it from the time I memorized the first rap when I was a kid, and then dancing with friends. Growing up, we were just a lot like kids today. You were memorizing the popular dances happening. I had a lot of Black friends, and I went to weddings and went down the Soul Train line and learned a lot of those fun dances and stuff like that. And it was just something where I felt like it was really, the culture was something I really, really, really loved. And it always spoke to me. So as far as rap goes and things like that, there was always this message, especially in like that golden era of hip hop. There was always a message about social justice and about different struggles and stuff like that within the African American community. And I think that resonates all over the world with people who are struggling in their communities, or are the underdog, or are facing, you know, these kinds of types of oppression. So I think that hip hop naturally lends itself to be a voice for those people, and that's why it's been so popular all over the world. And I think that's, you know, part of what resonated with me with hip hop was the freedom that I had as an artist to add my own style, my own personality into the dance. The challenges of doing like a dance like breaking, it was like super athletic, super difficult to achieve, you know, and you set a goal and then reach that goal and then keep working in it. And now with the style popping, which is the main style I do, it's the same thing. You're always working towards this end goal of being a better dancer and achieving, you know, a new level of physical ability. So it's definitely, you know, on that, and on that tip, just such an amazing art form to be a part of, and I'm so happy to participate in hip hop culture.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. So we're having you back to the Lead Center this year. In fact, you're the only artist so far that will be performing on our stage because of the pandemic. We have had to cancel all of our September and October performances, and you know, possibly October, November, December. But because you're in Chicago, you can drive here, and you're willing and interested, you're gonna come back to the Lead Center and perform live on our stage. And we are going to live cast that performance, which is really exciting because then we'll have all the technical aspects and all that. And we're just very excited about that. But the reason we're having you back is not only because we want to see your work again, but also because you are taking part in a special initiative we have, the Andrew W. Mellon DEI Curriculum Project, where we're going to be creating curriculum here at KU in collaboration with the artists that, and all of these artists are representing marginalized or underrepresented communities. This way, students won't only be able to experience your work and see the work, but they'll also be able to access curriculum that's tied specifically to you, to your work, and to the themes and topics that the work is exploring. So we're really excited about this project. We've been actually working on this for about a year, but everything, actually more than a year, but everything is slowed to a near stop, except for you and your work, because we're just able to make that happen, we think, and we're excited about being able to take at least small steps in that regard. So you've visited with the curriculum team, which is a staff member, Emily Gullickson, who is really kind of an expert on creating curriculum, especially social justice focused curriculum. Darren Kennedy, who is faculty here at KU in the English department and is a playwright and just an all-around amazing human being. And the team has been meeting with you via Zoom to talk about your work, to talk about the themes and topics, and then they've taken those things back to think about how they might want to craft that curriculum. So far, I'd like to know what you think. How is this process working with the team on the curriculum and tied to your work? How's that been for you?
Well, first of all, I just want to, say thank you for moving forward with this project. When the pandemic hit, I was really, really like sad, at the thought of losing this gig, which we have been working on, and losing this project, which I was really excited about. So I'm really happy we're able to do it in this new capacity. And yeah, building curriculum in the classroom, has been really, really great. We've had these Zoom meetings and these conversations about all the layers of my work and how we can bring those layers into the classroom and where they fit in. And I think that's been a really, really cool process. And for me as an artist too, it reminds me that the work that I do is not just about dance. It's not also just about being Muslim. It's multi-layered. And so I think building that into the curriculum um, is really, really important also, I think, for all artists, because it kind of validates the importance of our work, uh, not only just artistically, but socially.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I've always felt strongly that art and live performance art and the work that many of the artists that we are lucky to bring in, they provide an opportunity for everyone, but especially our students, to many times glimpse worlds that they have no idea or have had no experiences with, right? The other side of that is that we have students that come to KU that get to finally see themselves on this represented on the stage, and that's just as important as well. This work, this project's been something that we're all really excited about, and we're thankful that you're willing to uh, be our test artist on this, be the first one to go there. So what do you hope this experience brings to you and your work personally?
Well, I think that kind of exploring these new ways of doing things, using these kind of interactive tools and the technology that we're going to be utilizing to create a kind of multimedia type performance where part of it is live on stage, but there's also some video aspects of it. I think that's exciting. I think it's something that I was interested in before this pandemic, and I think that it'll be really great for us together to kind of like um, you know be these like forerunners in this era right now, and like see what we can create. And I think that, secretly it's like I really like the challenge, and and it's great to have Lead Center behind us because they're going to be able to handle a lot of the specifics and help this like dream come to fruition.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to interact with the students as always. That's my passion, and I've been missing it quite a bit in the last few months. So this has really been a lifeline to me, like as an artist and an educator, to be like, okay, you can make it till October because you have a really wonderful project to work on, and so I'm very excited about my visit.
Yeah, I think it's given us all some hope. And the other thing is that we just feel it's really important. We know how rough this time is for artists. There have been so many gigs canceled, and so it's just nice to be able to bring you in a safe setting and pay you, which I'm sure is helpful right now as well. So you're going to be coming to the Lee Center, but you're coming with another artist that you have been collaborating with. So I think it would be really interesting to hear more about Ahmed or AKA Mr. Mike, and how you met Ahmed, because Ahmed is from Tunisia. So and how this collaboration came about and what the work is about.
Yes, I'm so excited to introduce this artist to the audience in Kansas for sure. So I met Ahmed working on a project in Algeria exactly like 1 year ago. And he is a beatboxer, but also a film maker. And meeting him in Algeria, as soon as I heard he's a beatboxer, it was like instant, like beatbox meets popping moment. Yeah. And we created like videos together, just a couple of fun videos while we were there. And I was like brainstorming, like, how can I bring him to the US and involve him in some of my work? Because I think it's also important that Ahmed is from Tunisia, which is a Muslim majority country, and being a Muslim male artist who also supports a female Muslim artist is like important for people to recognize too, that exists out there, and that artists are creating all over the world in Muslim countries as well. So I was kind of excited about that prospect of combining our talents and that mission. So I brought him here for a performance through Words, Beats, and Life in Washington, D.C. And then, you know, we were going to bring him, he was going to go home, and then we were going to bring him back for the Lead Center. But the pandemic hit, he couldn't go back home. He closed all the borders in Tunisia, canceled his flight. And so, you know, alhamdulillah, like, thanks to God, he's still here and safe. And so he's coming with me to Kansas City, and it worked out really great, or to Lawrence, rather. And I think that, yeah, so we're gonna kind of use beatboxing, which is arguably, you know, one of the elements of hip hop culture. Definitely beatboxing and then my style of popping together in our performance. So you're gonna see this amazing talent that he has, making all these beats and sounds with his mouth. And also how we've collaborated with his filmmaking skills to create kind of some visual dance pieces that have really, really brought life to my choreography. And we've created some new stuff that's come out of this pandemic. So I'm just super excited to kind of share this and share him with you guys, because you're gonna be blown away and you're gonna love it.
So I feel bad for him not being able to get home. I'm sure that's kind of frustrating. I can't imagine. But it certainly worked out well for the creative process for you too, which is wonderful. So I was wondering, because you're talking a little bit, obviously Ahmad is from Tunisia, and I've had other conversations with hip hop artists about this kind of explosion of hip hop in many Muslim countries in the Middle East right now. And I'm interested in that. Like, can you speak a little bit about that?
Sure. So, you know, I've been blessed to travel to a number of Muslim majority countries doing projects, including Bangladesh, Malaysia, Kuwait, Algeria, and Tunisia. And yeah, hip hop's alive all over the world. I mean, it's there, and it's actually, there are always, I find in these places, people that were practicing, you know, some element of hip hop since the early 80s. So you're gonna find that worldwide, that, you know, hip hop, like I said before, hip hop culture really speaks to certain people, you know, who need to express themselves differently. So I think that, you know, it's beautiful for me to see like this creativity and how it's like kind of mixing with, you know, culture, and then also like references to maybe some of our Islamic beliefs. And I think that, yeah, it's very fascinating for me as an American Muslim to travel there and be able to relate to someone not only like religiously, but also like through American culture. You know, it's so cool. So
yeah, I'm glad you talked about that, sort of that blending. I find it really fascinating, the blending of these American art forms, hip hop, modern dance, contemporary dance, and jazz, and how they've gone out into the world and have been recreated, recrafted, adapted into other cultures. They're still in their base form, but just that, to me, the energy of that, I find it very exciting. In fact, we're going to have another artist in, hopefully, in the spring, Amirah Sackett, who sort of blends jazz with Middle Eastern music and sounds. So yeah, I love that blending. I think, and to me, that's kind of what this country is about, that blending, and it always has been. So can you tell me a little bit about how you've had to adapt and how your work has adapted since we've been in quarantine?
Sure, like most artists, I had to kind of adjust things to this kind of Zoom setting to do more video work. I taught classes through Zoom. I did a lot of live streaming on Facebook too, tried different platforms, and then just did some interesting projects along the way, you know, created some new work. I filmed one of my solos, which is called Sakina, and I filmed it with Ahmed, who kind of directed it, and he has like this background in cinematography and everything, and made it really beautiful and made it come to life. And that was like a big accomplishment. It's something I had always dreamed of, is like making one of my dances like beautiful, like short film. And so we were able to do that, which was fantastic. And then he and I started doing like a live show every week on Facebook just for fun. And it's kind of like the audience gets to just come to our like jam session. And so it's reached a new audience. It's reached people. One, it was fun because it reached people I haven't seen in a long time from different parts of the world and different, you know, parts of the country. And they just would drop into the Facebook Live and be like, oh, I miss you, Amirah. Like, what's up, girl? You know, and they haven't seen me maybe dance like in a long time, like live like that. So I think there are some definite benefits to like this time period. Like it just also, you know, I am a live performer. I love the audience. I love the energy of the audience. Dance is such a community thing. So it's really hard to be away from a crew, my crew in Chicago. It's hard to not be practicing together or going to, you know, breaking battles or popping battles. And now they're existing online, which is just a different experience. So I've been trying to adapt the best I can. And in that, I've learned a lot of new things. And I know that I'll carry those post-COVID like into the future and use those as, you know, as tools. And I view them as strengths now. So, you know, we just got to roll with the punches here.
Totally, totally. And I agree. I think we're all kind of learning different ways that we can use technology to help reach folks in areas that sometimes we just can't reach otherwise. So, but there's nothing like live performance, right? We all would agree with that.
Yeah.
So, so when you're here, you're going to be performing live. We're going to be live streaming that out to the world. And then we're also inviting first-year experience students to view it via Zoom. And then that way, after the performance is over, you can have a Q&A with those students who have Zoomed in. So I just think that format is interesting and a unique way of adapting, or as everyone is stating, we're pivoting, and that's our pivot. So I guess my final question, it would be, so how you have all these folks coming in, watching live stream or Zooming in, what do you hope the audiences take away from the piece or the work that they see on October 7th at 7:30?
So, you know, at our performance at the Lied Center, I'm really hoping, you know, our virtual audience there out there is inspired, number one. I hope that they, you know, if they didn't know a lot about Muslims or Islam, I hope that they learn a little something. You know, a big part of my presentation is a little education part, a little dispelling misconceptions about Muslims and Islam. And I hope that they also just have fun. I mean, I think like on this other level, like the range of hip hop and its expression through dance it can both be, you know, fun and entertaining, but it can also be beautiful and poetic. And so I hope that, you know, inspires people to create. I hope that, you know, the artists out there watching are inspired to create something new. And I hope that the general population enjoys it. And I hope it raises questions and creates dialogue between people and causes them to maybe do a little research into some new areas. And that would be my hope.
That sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Q&A because you have a real special talent, and especially with the students, with connecting with people and having conversation with them. I was really struck the last time you were here, only here for a few days, but the impact of your visit was profound, and we really appreciated that. And that's why we're so excited to have you back again.
Yay. I'm so excited.
So we'll see you and Ahmad soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Thanks for visiting with me today,
Thank you.
and we'll be in touch.
All right. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Take care.